And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Give me 1 quick second. Official test start time, 2 minutes. As you all know, 5 pages, 5 paragraphs each, 5 sentences per paragraph, 5 words per sentence. Anything below or above, no accreditation. 5 computer spaces in between, 5 revisions. You can use your hyper-scientific, you can use any artificial intelligence, but you must show the work and share it with the class. If you do not show the work and share it with the class, I'm going to assume all you did was use technology. You can use DeepSeek R1, Grok, ChatGPT, Siri, Sarah, Alexa, Copilot, or any combination thereof, even some homebrews. But again, you must show the work and share with the class. If not, you get 0 credit for it. So let's get started. You already know Warner Brothers is the talk of the town. So before I even do anything, before we even open up any apps, let me just double check because this came on my feed and I didn't want to send it to corporate because I wasn't sure. This is, okay, it might be in this. Give me 1 second.
Well, housing become more important issue in
This
response to people are buying, and that's not a good sign for that sector and for the overall economy. Latest house price indexes come out from the Federal Housing Finance Administration and the S&P.
Oh,
They basically show a slowdown, but still
okay. Time out.
Price increase over the last year.
This is
0.2% on the
gadgets now.
Over the years. Same thing for the CoreLogic.
The Times of India. Yeah, this is going to corporate. Hold up.
But still,
This is going
fairly
straight to
elevated
corporate.
increases.
Hold up.
Even as mortgage rates start to fall, these are.
Shout out to Mauricio Ruiz. I'm going to send it to the executive board right now. Let me just make this
overall home prices.
make this
Now, the number of cities that
I'm going to look at my deck. I got a few more things right now. But we're not doing too bad.
Than we had seen
Netflix.
for the year-over-year 7.2%, as these others did. But
Ray
the
Dalio.
cities that are experiencing the biggest price increases include
Gary
Boston
Vaynerchuk.
and,
You know what I'm saying?
so San Francisco, over
Denson
each still
and
on a
Nvidia.
month-to-month basis, so we're still seeing
You know what I mean?
increases
All right.
there.
So
If you want to
please
look at,
open up your Baja apps.
overall for
Open up
housing
your
industry,
simulators.
we are
Open
seeing
up
home
your
prices
Learn
contribute
Business
to inflation.
Management.
That
Open
leads
up
us
your
to a
Dominican
conundrum
newspapers.
because
We're
the
going to take
Fed
the test backwards.
is gonna maybe lower interest
We'll
rates,
start
but
with El
right now they're
Nacional.
not. And you can see what's
Go
happening here
to Google
is,
News.
we had a
Select
problem
technology.
with the pandemic, everybody buying
Let's
houses,
go
that pushed
with
prices up. But now we're seeing prices come down somewhat, but not enough because the Fed keeps interest rates higher.
Let's go to
And the
9
fact
to
that
5
prices
Mac.
don't come down means inflation is higher.
We have a module on the Apple Watch.
So it's a sort of circular conundrum.
Go to
And that was
your
recognized
marketplace.
last night by a couple of Fed officials. We heard from
In the search, type in Brian Tracy. Please select your B21 success secrets. And for today, we are going to do
Other inflationary
Give me 1
pressures flare up. And,
Okay.
Mary Daly,
We're gonna do
worrying
success
about,
secret number 2.
unemployment, talking about future labor markets that could translate into higher
Anything
unemployment.
else?
So
I'm trying to think.
inflation's not the only
Let
reason
me
we
see
have. So at this
very
point,
quickly.
something different
Go
from those
to
Fed
your
officials, but
Google
it was
News
back in
and on the
what they do.
search, just type in Warner
Mike, thanks very much. Mike McKean there, Chief Policy and Economics Correspondent, talking to us about the latest data points and
Warner Brothers
spreadsheet is still with
Discovery.
Western Mutual Wealth Management. Right?
Um,
So you're saying
Warner
you see a
Brothers giving me
recession
3
ahead, or
choices.
you could see a soft
Let's
landing
go
and a
Warner
broadening
Brothers
out. Which data pushes you
Discovery.
in
Let me
either
see.
direction?
I think you're trying to transition.
TNT Sports announces first half of 2026 Major League Baseball Tuesday regular season schedule on TBS. 23 hours. So that has to be for next week.
I think there's likely to be a recession because I don't believe inflation is sustainably back to 2%. I believe the Fed needs to keep rates higher for longer, which eventually will tip the economy into a
Let's
recession.
select it in
I think
topic
that's
to see if
economics.
that's a little bit better.
The final frontier, And that's where I think there's still
Netflix revamps. No, this is 3 days. Let's go to the second
I think
option.
that was in Bowman's comments. So to me,
Still
all these
3
obvious,
days.
like the housing market, the prices rising. I just don't
Okay,
think
let's go
inflation
with
is under
Netflix.
control yet. And I think that that's going to be on stay around too long. Because they would put that GDP
Let's
back in
go
the hole.
Paramount.
I think that eventually causes a mild recession because unemployment rate has to rise.
What do you think about
Paramount
the labor
Skydance
picture? Because
yesterday.
Bosa was saying, if we get
This
more
is from
restriction
Variety.
in terms of immigration, that will curtail what has been
We
a
have
healthy
things
supply
from
on
Routers,
the labor front.
but we
And
have
then we
to see if
could
they're going to let us
the market tighten up a
go
little
through the module.
100%. That's what I think.
Let's start
If I'm
with,
going to be wrong,
because I'm trying to
it has be
think, is that we
because
got to
people
check the
can
markets
back
too.
provide labor. The pool of labor increases, or AI is truly a
Let's
huge
go check the
productivity
markets
advantage.
because
This kind of reminds me of
there's
the
no
late
way. I need to
1990s
open the
economic
dealership
cycle
too. I have to
overtime
build
because you didn't have the
another
internet.
few
You had Y2K
Corvettes to put
measure.
an order
You
in.
had
I'm
25
trying
to
to
54 year olds
think.
streaming back into the labor market.
Yeah, let's check the markets because that way I could determine the prices.
I do
Let
think
me
AI
open
is
the
for real,
option.
but I
Give me
don't
1
think it's in the
second.
here and now.
Let's see what we have in the
Elevated, which keeps the backdrop for inflation sticky. And I think the Fed is telling out that if they actually
Ferraris is in for
more
today.
optimistic speaking about that, like they did back in October, when the economy recovers, yes, let's go.
We've been very strong for
That's
the
why I
last
think
few
they're going to
days.
stick around longer, just because they want to make sure not that because it's 1966,
Let's
which
go.
led to 67 to 82.
I kind of have an idea of what my client wants. I'm trying to think. Let me see what I have.
Increase
What
that
I got
labor
to
supply,
trade.
virtually in that manner,
We could do
which
the
I think will eventually cause
This is
a
not.
recession.
I'm interested to
This
get your
makes
take on AI, Brent. You mentioned it there. You're a CFA and a CFP, but most importantly, you got your MBA from the good old Chicago. So you're a numbers guy. That's why I think it's interesting to hear what you think about this emerging technology. Some people are calling it revolution. What do you?
I think it is actually. If you think about the internet, it was also those stocks that were doing well in 1991 were the ones that drove it all the way throughout. It actually probably benefited the other sectors of the economy as you push into the 2000s. So that's where I think the future is still optimistic. It's still bright. I think there's the end that's on the way. I think productivity is something that we have to have in this economy, in this country, because we are aging.
See, for streaming, the Rolling Stones is the best
right
right
now.
now.
The
The problem is they have the bass boost and the battery. Because I'm running everything on Pro Tools. So let me go to let's go.
That's where I think things like bonds, things like thinking about the other side,
Sector class
are
one.
more important than what's going to happen in the next few months.
So if we do have a Fed,
So see, 80% battery. Totally good.
recession here, Brent,
All right. We have an idea of some of the cars that went crazy.
Because I think those things are priced already for that downturn. Firstly enough, in the 1990s,
I don't even want to put on the podcast
actually into the recession.
until I check the market because you know what I'm saying? These are going overseas. So I'm charging everything. All right. Natural gas still on top. Commodities. Gold stands in the green. The green range 0.95%, 4,963.73 per ounce. Silver in the green ranger 4.67%, 100.63. Platinum in the green 5.86%. Thank you, Heavenly Father. 2,757.72 per ounce. Palladium in the green ranger 5.89%, 1,998.62. Copper 3M in the red ranger 0.43%, 12,755.50. Chocolate even 4,450 a pallet. Coffee in the green 0.26%, 347.90. Orange juice in the green, 5.50%, $216.75 per pallet. Incredible. Currencies, let's go. Nothing has broken through. Top 20 coins: Hyperliquid, Athena, USDE, Chainlink, Stellar Lumens, Cardano, Binance Coin, USD Coin, Ditecoin, Unis, SEDLEO, Tethercoin, Solana, XRP, Ripple, Never, Tron, Sui, Zcash, Dogecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Monero, number 2, number 1 Bitcoin. Bitcoin stands in the green, 1.15%, 90,491 and 297 of a penny, 398 of a penny. Wow. Monero stands in the green, 1.39%, 1.40%, 523, 66,943 of a penny.
Let's take a look at the shares of in sympathy with Airbus cutting their earnings due as means to be delivered on supply chain issues connected to Boeing.
Ethereum 0.93, 2,977 and 8,030 of a penny.
And then Carnival sliding ahead of earnings, which should be coming out any moment.
Let's just make sure that we're up to date with everything. So this module we did, but we have to go over it because this way we'll be heading in a clear direction. Give me 1 second.
And obviously we're watching the aerospace area very closely. Abigail's going to come back in just a minute. We're going to talk about a pool stock. Have you put in the pool already? Are you planning to, or is money tight right now? Also, shares are taking a belly flop after the company slashed its forecast after the bell. So we're going to take a deep dive on the silver funds. This is
CZ talking to governments about asset tokenization. Binance founder and former CEO Changpeng Zhao shared at the World Economic Forum in Davos on Thursday that he is talking to around 8 dozen governments about tokenizing some of their assets. Right now, in the crypto space, there are 2 proven large industries: exchanges and stablecoins. I'm really excited about the 3 new ones. I think tokenization is a huge one in market. Adding that with this, the governments can realize the financial gains first and use that to develop other industries. Talking about Binance, CZ said that it is one of the largest crypto exchanges in the world. It is larger than the next 5 combined. We have 300 million users, and its trading volume was higher than the Shanghai Stock Exchange and the New York Stock Exchange last year, he commented. We already have the figures for Ethereum and for Bitcoin. So let's go back real quick. Make sure that we scroll to make sure that we have everything up to date in real time. And here we go. Meta pauses team access to its AI characters. Meta told TechCrunch on Friday that it was restricting teenagers' access to its AI-powered digital personas known as AI characters. The company will instead seek to develop a version of the feature designed specifically for teenagers. The move comes amid rising concerns about social media's impact on children's mental health. The company revealed that individuals who have provided a teen birthday will no longer have access to AI characters across Meta's apps, and that it will use its age prediction technology to identify minors posing as adults. according to the company's plans. The team-specific AI personas will be rolled out with parental control enabled. Alphabet A stands in the red 0.82%, 327.82. Ultimate, set to be expected in India during AI Summit. OpenAI Incorporated Chief Executive Officer CEO Sam Altman is expected to travel to India in mid-February. TechCrunch reported on Friday as New Delhi prepares to host a series of high-profile artificial intelligence AI events. India will host the India AI Impact Summit in New Delhi from February 16th through the 20th, where it will gather senior executives, including NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang, Google CEO Sundar Pichai, and Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei, alongside Indian business leaders such as Reliance Industries Chairman Mukesh Ambani. While Altman is not listed as a confirmed speaker, sources said OpenAI plans closed-door meetings on the sidelines of the summit and will host a separate company event in New Delhi on February 19th for venture capitalists and executives. The visit follows Altman's earlier comments that OpenAI plans to invest more in India and comes amid reports that the company has held funding talks with Reliance Industries as part of a broader fundraising effort. Intel drops almost 15% after earnings. The shares of Intel Corporation continued to fall on Friday, sliding almost 15% after the chipmaker's latest earnings report seemingly failed to impress investors. While the company's revenue came in above analyst estimates, the guidance for fiscal 2026, which was the focal point, likely didn't meet expectations. Intel revealed that in the next quarter, it sees sales between $11.7 billion and $12.7 billion. The business shared that keeping up with the demand will be difficult in the first months period of fiscal 2026. Nonetheless, Intel CFO David Sisner mentioned that while the available supply might hit its lowest point, it should recover in the second trimester. The company's stock grew 14.86% at 9:33 a.m. Eastern Time, going for 46.2500. Intel Corporation stands in the red 16.84% or 5.17. United Kingdom regulator Ofcom starts probe into Meta. United Kingdom Communications Service regulator Ofcom started on Friday an investigation into Meta Platforms Incorporated regarding its messaging app WhatsApp business. Ofcom argued that the evidence gathered suggests that the tech giant may not have complied with certain requirements under the Communications Act, and that some information Meta provided may not have been complete and accurate. The investigation concerns requests for information sent by Ofcom in 2024 and 2025 regarding the watchdog's monitoring of the retail business messaging market. Ofcom said the probe will aim to ascertain whether Meta has failed to comply with the legislation. Meta Platforms stand in the green 2.15% at 661.56. Ericsson jumped 12% after positive earnings reports. Shares of Telefónica Katia Bolin and Ericsson Ericsson soared as much as 12% in early trading Friday after the company released its earnings for the fourth quarter of 2025, while net sales fell by 5% to 9.3 billion Swedish krona, 7.7 billion United States dollars, so like almost $10 billion. Net income soared 76% to 8.6 billion krona, with the diluted earnings per share up 78% to 2.57 krona per share. Ericsson Class A shares added 11.79% at 9:08 a.m. Central Eastern Time and sold for 9.80 Swedish krona. Ericsson Telephone now LM Series B in the red 0.9%, 85.78. Ericsson Telefonado LM Series A in the red 0.81%, 85.20. Nvidia's Huang set to travel to China. Nvidia's CEO Jensen Huang intends to travel to China in the coming days ahead of the mid-February lunar year amid concerns over the United States chip giant's ability to sell in the Chinese market. CNBC reported on Friday, citing two people familiar with the matter. According to the sources, Huang is slated to attend an NVIDIA business party in Beijing on Monday and to meet with prospective Chinese customers and talk about the recent logistical difficulties in getting NVIDIA chips certified by the United States market. Earlier this month, the United States relaxed restrictions on exports of NVIDIA H200 chips to China, enabling shipments to begin, requiring third-party reviews. However, the information reported last week that China would only permit local sales of NVIDIA's H200 AI chips for specific uses like research. NVIDIA Corporation stands to agree 1.39%, 187.41.
Bouncing back after its 3-day drop.
That's good today. So this is as of yesterday. Intel plummets 7% on this forecast. Shares of Intel Corporation plunged more than 7% in after-hours trading on Thursday after the company reported a disappointing forecast for the first quarter of its fiscal 2026.
This is a stock that is trading significantly above its 50 and 100-day moving average.
The chipmaker said that it expects its available supply to hit its lowest level in the first trimester of 2026, with season improvement in the second quarter. The company also forecasts a loss per share of 0.21 for the first quarter of the year, while adjusted earnings per share are set to be 0. Revenue for the 3-month period is seen in the range of 11.7 billion to 12.7 billion. Intel slid 7.8% to 50.05 at 4:13 p.m. Eastern Time. Intel Corporation stands in the red 17.02%, the Red Ranger 45.08 per share. And we're up to speed because we have Intel.
One little caution. I spoke to an investor in NVIDIA yesterday.
OpenAI's revenue up by 1 billion due to API OPS.
7 million NVIDIA shares.
OpenAI Incorporated Chief Executive Officer CEO Sam Altman announced on Thursday that the company has added more than $1 billion of annual recurring revenue ARR in December 2025 from its application programming interface API business alone. People think of us mostly as ChatGPT, but the API team is doing amazing work. Altman wrote
Who knows what the sales are going to be?
OpenAI
Yeah, I think the other big
launched
unknown is
AI,
that the product-specific
its
categories are now
developer
important.
tool
We've written
providing
about the H100,
programmatic
which is its
access
main
to
AI
advanced
accelerator
AI
volume.
models. including GPT-5.2
And as we
in
heard in earnings by the
2020.
end of this calendar year, it
So,
will start shipping in some
take a quick
tangible
pause for my
volume
students.
Blackwell.
I would
And so we just don't know what the
I would
revenues from that new
encourage that
product
you
line
use it
will
in your
be. The biggest
engineering,
commitment to bringing new
for
AI
your products and
accelerator
services,
online
industries
each
of trade, your
calendar year.
investments,
That's
whatever you
where
want
the
to do
street
for your
has
career, for
trouble.
your future,
But the
whatever you
extra
want to bring
price
to the
numbers I was
market.
giving, I'm talking about
Just
price
always
scale
remember that it is
forecasted sales
technology
over
and
the
it's
next
open
12
source and
months.
it's publicly available. So, retain certain things that can secure your intellectual property, because in the digital age, intellectual property is going to be the most important thing, because there are very strong, even religious reasons that, obviously we cannot disclose, because it wouldn't be the appropriate forum or format. But in everything that you do now, remember that programming computer code is completely changed and now accessible to everyone that's willing to read a few books, take a few business classes, and just try it. Worst thing is you'll learn something cool, right? Always approach things with a cool, positive, pleasing mental attitude. Elon Musk, robo-taxis in Austin now without safety monitoring. Tesla Incorporated, XAI Incorporated, and SpaceX Chief Executive Officer, CEO, Elon Musk announced on Thursday that the electric vehicles, EV, company's robo-taxis, providing service in Austin, Texas, now operate without safety monitors. If you're interested in solving real-world AI, which is likely to lead to AGI, artificial general intelligence, in my own opinion, join Tesla AI, solving real-world AI for optimists will be 100 times harder than cars. The world's richest man wrote on X. Earlier in the day, Musk said during his appearance at the World Economic Forum, WEF, that he expects the service to become very widespread by the end of this year, and expressed hope to get regulatory approval for it in Europe as early as next month. Tesla Incorporated stands in the red Ranger 0.71%, 446.17 per share. Google adds personal intelligence in AI media. Google LLC announced on Thursday that it is rolling out personal intelligence, a feature that connects Gmail and Google Photos to AI media search, intended to deliver personalized responses based on users' data. Personal intelligence uses Google's Gemini 3 to process users' queries and doesn't train directly on your Gmail inbox or Google Photos library. The company said it added that training is limited to restricted information, such as specific prompts in AI mode and the model's responses. The new feature is available for Google AI Pro and AI Ultra subscribers in the United States in English. It is currently available for personal Google accounts, but not for workspace, business, enterprise, or education users. Alphabet C stands in the red 0.70%, 3 to 8.51. Alphabet C stands in the red 0.79%, 3 to 7.92. SpaceX set to line up with 4 major banks for initial public offering.
Has Airbus managed to
SpaceX is laying the groundwork for what could become one of the largest initial public offerings in history, with Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, and Morgan Stanley lead the pack The Financial Times reported on Thursday. Other banks are also expected to back the listing, according to people familiar with the matter, and SpaceX executives have reportedly held multiple meetings with financial advisors in recent weeks. The IPO preparations come as SpaceX undergoes an internal share sale that values the company as reported. Undergoes an internal share sale that values the company at a reported.
All right, Benny, thanks so much for joining us.
Or let's say at approximately 850 billion. This is what I'm talking about. This is inspiration for all of my students, for upcoming entrepreneurs. $800 billion. Like, can you imagine? That's 24x evidence. That's the true value of the company right there. Divided by 24. For my students, open up your Hyper Scientific right now. I just thought about that. Let's go 8 billion. 8, 1, 2, 3. Million, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. You know, for us, the recession is not a base case. In fact, it's probably a tail risk if anything. Our base case is the economy can cool, but
let's divide by.
So last year we were looking at 6.4% annualized GDP on average every quarter of 2023. This year we're probably looking at closer to 2% or maybe sub 2%, but still in line with what we call trend growth levels. Now, clearly what we're seeing in the economy is a labor market that is starting to cool. We have a handle on unemployment now. We are seeing early indicators like job openings that are cooling. Quits rate is coming down, so folks are not putting their jobs at the rates they once were. And we're also seeing, you know, the consumer is quite comfortable and they feel very comfortable with their jobs. So the labor market is cooling.
They gave them more.
Consumption maybe
that's 792.
Well,
so 24. Let's go 24.5.
No.
That's 24.4. That's 24.3. Close. 24.2. Yo, Elon Musk is a good businessman, yo. He gave himself a little bonus of what? 1.4 billion? That's how you felt? Okay, Elon. Good shit. Yo, shout out to Elon Musk. That was the business fucking deal of the day. Good shit, Elon. And a motherfucking business partner at Tesla. SpaceX, Solar City, fucking Rock. We got this, yo. Good shit. Damn. Yo, he just picked up a quick 1.4 billion. That's what's on the table. Hold up. Good fucking shit, yo. All right, let's go. For my students, what are the financial firms involved in this deal? I want you guys to put that in your finals. Ready? Number 1, Morgan Stanley. Number 2, Goldman Sachs Group Incorporated. Number 3, Bank of America Corporation. And number 5, JP Morgan Chase and Company. Now, this is just the deposit division. And remember, it's in the news. They just got sued by Trump for $5.5 billion. Unbelievable. Morgan Stanley stands in the red, 2.60%. Goldman Sachs Group stands in the red, 3.76%. Bank of America Corporation stands in the red, 1.90%. They hedged their investment a little bit better. Goldman Sachs took the brunt of it. Morgan Stanley has an in-between approach, but only JP Morgan Chase and Company is in the green, 0.24% to 0.71 a share. That's what's up. That will be on your finals. Everybody has the link, no excuses. All right, Musk. Yo, this I saw in the news. This shit had me dying. Musk, I want to die on Mars, but not on impact. Give me 1 quick second.
Yeah, look, you make a good point in that volatility does.
Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, said on Thursday that he would like to visit Mars during his lifetime, including dying there. I've been asked a few times, do I want to die on Mars? And I'm like, yes, but just not on impact. Musk stated at the World Economic Forum in Davos. He called on the global population to be optimistic about the future, adding that he thinks that for quality of life, it is better to be an optimist and wrong than a pessimist and right.
Last year in the S&P 500.
Elon Musk, AI to be smarter than all of humanity by 2031. I already disagree with that bullshit, but whatever, we're business partners. Let's do business.
Think about
The
that
world's
balance
richest
between
man,
growth
Elon
in
Musk,
value, growth in cyclical
issued a
parts of the
stark
market. We
timeline
saw even in the
for
last
the
few
events
weeks
of
as NVIDIA,
superintelligence,
the mega cap giant,
predicting that
trying to
artificial
pull back.
intelligence
The
will
rest of the market
surpass
actually
the
held in there,
cognitive
and so early
abilities of
signs that broadening of
individuals,
market leadership
but
is
also
starting to
humanity as a
play
whole
out.
in just 5
Use
years.
periods of volatility to our advantage. We want in position for not only this year, but really the years
Crazy.
ahead, where we can take one more
Yo,
phase
5
of
years,
life
Elon,
ahead of
word.
us.
Alright. We might have an AI that is smarter than any individual human by the end of this year, and I would say no later than next year. Then probably by 2030 or 2031, just 4 or 5 years from now.
Certainly,
AI
we
will
do
likely
think
be
AI
smarter than
is
all of
in the early
humanity
innings of
collectively.
what is a multi-year
Musk
secular
said in the
growth story.
Davos on
We think
Thursday.
right now the enablers
Back
of
in
AI,
2024, the
infrastructure
billionaire
players,
predicted
semiconductors,
that 2025
the building
will
blocks of
probably
AI,
be the year
we're seeing most
when
of the gains
artificial
over
intelligence
time. We
becomes
would
smarter
expect
than
that
the smartest
broaden a
human.
bit, so the sectors that
Yeah,
benefit
go
from the
tell
efficiencies
Optimus
of
to go
AI,
make
think
some
about
fucking water.
healthcare, think about infrastructure, robotics, and manufacturing.
Tell
for
Optimus
different financial
create a
services.
cloud,
All
a
of these
real
sectors
one,
we
like a
think will
real
benefit
life
from
cloud.
efficiencies.
I
We
don't
should
think
see show
so.
up in gains as
Musk
well.
sees
But to your
Europe
point, if you get a
self-driving
pullback
approval
in AI,
within a month.
and you don't have the exposure you
Elon
want, that
Musk,
is a
the
great
world's richest
opportunity
man,
to get in
next to
long-term,
me,
we think is
said on
gonna
Thursday
be
that Tesla hopes to secure regulatory approval for supervised self-driving in Europe as early as next month. We hope to get supervised self-driving approval in Europe, hopefully next month, and then maybe a similar timing for China. Musk told the host at the World Economic Forum.
They have been weighed down because they're highly
Musk
leveraged.
said
They tend to have a lot more
Tesla
floating rate
robotaxi
debt.
service
And so this high
has
rate
already
environment,
been
they
rolled out
have not benefited
in
at all
a few
from
United
rates
States
remaining
cities
longer for a more
and
extended period
is
of time.
expected
That
to
may reverse
become
a bit as
very
we get
widespread
closer to
by the
February
end of
cutting
this
cycle.
year nationwide.
But where we like to
He
play
said
is in that mid-cap
self-driving is
space
now
where,
essentially
and not only will
a
they also
solved
benefit
problem.
from the rate cutting cycle, but they have more
Musk
profitable
hopes
companies
for
with
full
overall a little bit
reusability
better
of
margin
Starship
safety
in
in terms of
2026.
exposure to
The world's
economic
richest man,
upturn and
Elon Musk,
cyclical
said that his
tilt
company,
as well. So
SpaceX,
we think mid-caps
aims
are
to
really
achieve
an
full
interesting way to play in a
reusability
potential recovery
of its
and a potential
Starship
Fed rate
vehicle
cutting
this year.
cycle ahead. We continue
Speaking
to
at
like
the
large
World
caps here,
Economic Forum,
both on the growth and value side
WEF
as
in
well. But I
Davos,
think there
Musk
are
stressed
opportunities
that
in
such a
both those
breakthrough
spaces if we do see
would make the
pullbacks
cost of
or
access
even
to space
volatility
drop
ahead.
by a
All right,
factor of
love to get your
100,
take, Mona. Thanks so much.
as only
Mona
refueling
Mahajan is senior
would be
investment
necessary
strategist at
instead of
Paul
a
Singer
whole
is
vehicle.
pitching Wall Street. It's
He
one way
compared
to
it
make
to
America
the
great
economic
again, and
difference
starting to
of
gain
using an
real
airplane
momentum. We'll talk about
only
that
once
next. This is Bloomberg.
for multiple flights. Musk noted that his company has already achieved partial reusability of the Falcon 9 rocket's first stage, but for now has to throw away the upper stage
It is less
after
than
each flight,
5 months until
which
the U.S.
amounts to the
presidential
cost
election,
of a
and this
small to
Thursday
medium-sized
already,
jet.
President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump will be holding their first debate. The smart money on Wall Street is already
Tesla Incorporated stands in the red, 0.74%, 446.04 per share. Musk, SpaceX to launch solar-powered AI satellites. Tesla Incorporated, XAI Corporation, and SpaceX Chief Executive Officer, CEO, Elon Musk announced on Thursday that his space engineering company will launch large-scale solar power infrastructure in the United States, including solar-powered artificial intelligence, AI-backed satellites. Speaking at the World Economic Forum, WEF in Davos, the world's richest man declared that Tesla and SpaceX are looking to produce individually about 100 gigawatts of solar power a year in the United States. He said that the project could be materialized in 3 years or something, or in 3 years of something. Furthermore, Musk pointed out China's supremacy in producing solar power and noted the difficulty of importing it as the tariff barrier is extremely high. He urged other companies to turn to producing solar energy as well.
pass its anti-DEI
Elon Musk.
legislation in terms of
We will be
universities.
producing more chips,
that kind of
then we
speaks
can
to
turn
the
on.
amount of influence it's having, and it's
Billionaire
trying to
tech mogul
use this
and the
influence
world's
to gain some
wealthiest
leverage
individual
with Trump,
next to
So
me,
they've also been
Elon
kind of
Musk,
activated,
estimated
triggered,
during
if you
his speech in
will,
Davos
by
on Thursday
the rise of
that
anti-Semitism
we'll be
that we've seen,
producing more
right?
chips, then
absolutely,
we can
that
turn
is a key
on,
piece of it. And
possibly
what they
as
say,
soon
and,
as the
they're
end
among
of
several
this year.
voices here is the
The
idea
rate of
that
AI chip
DEI
production
on
increases
campus and this
exponentially, Musk
communist-inspired
remarked,
ideology,
while
left-wing
also noting
ideology on
that
campus
the demand
has
for
really
electricity
turned
production
into
has risen
anti-Semitism
sharply
on
in recent
campus.
times,
Now, that's not
driven by
an
strong
opinion
demand
everybody
from the
shares.
AI
Certainly,
industry.
That's a fact that you
AI
theorize
companies will
anti-Semitism
seek
on campuses.
as many
well, certainly
customers
there's
as
been a
possible,
rise in anti-Semitism
which means they'll
on
provide
campus,
AI
but
to
not
avoid
everyone believes
heat
that
stress.
pro-Palestinian protests are anti-Semitic. They tend to believe they are.
There is some
There are
benefit to
others who
that.
sort of take a
What the
different
fuck
view
is this?
on
Let's
that
see
and say that
what
no, there's
bullshit
campaign
this
for the
is.
rights of
The world's richest man, Elon Musk,
That
shared his thoughts on
certainly
longevity
that,
and human
what
lifespan
happened
on
on
Thursday
campus
during his
last year
speech in
played
Davos.
into some of
There
the
is some benefit
interest
to
in
death,
the Manhattan
Musk said,
Institute.
claiming that having
They
a
had
longer
record
life will lead to a
fundraising after
society
most recent gala,
effectively
$1.6
locked in
million
place.
in one night
Still, he
alone.
emphasized that
That's
aging
contributing
is
to
solvable,
about
betting that its
closer to $1
underlying
billion.
cause will turn out to be simple
For
and that reversing it would be
Well, the
highly
story's really well
likely.
done. I recommend it.
The billionaire underscored that he remains very optimistic as the world is heading toward a future of amazing abundance, concluding that this is the most interesting time in history. Here we go. Musk predicts there will be more robots than people.
Yeah, a bit of breaking news here.
Elon Musk, the richest man in the world next to me, predicted on Thursday that there will be more robots than people in the world in the future. Speaking at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Musk said that there will be billions of humanoid robots and everyone on Earth is going to have one. He emphasized that robots will be able to watch over children and care for people's pets or elderly parents, ensuring that such actions will be performed safely. I think we have those things, the billionaire noted. He also underlined that the world is heading to a future of amazing abundance, which is very true. Musk hopes for full reusability of Starship in 2026. The world's richest man, Elon Musk, next to me, said that his company, SpaceX, aims to achieve full reusability of its Starship vehicle this year. Speaking at the World Economic Forum, WEF in Davos, Musk stressed that such a breakthrough will make the cost of access to space drop by a factor of 100, as only refueling will be necessary instead of a whole new vehicle. He compared it to the economic difference of using an airplane only once and for multiple flights. Musk noted that his company has already achieved partial reusability of the Falcon 9 rocket's first stage, but for now has to throw away the upper stage after each flight, which amounts to the cost of a small to medium-sized jet. That's the module that we did. That's why I came up again. Here we go again. Musk predicts there will be more robots than people. No, we did this one.
President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump.
Yep, we did that one.
PCE, the
This one is funny. All right, y'all ready? Musk. If there were aliens, I would know. Tesla Incorporated, ex-AI Corporation, and SpaceX Chief Executive Officer, CEO Elon Musk remarked on Thursday that if anyone would know if there were aliens among us, it would be him. Speaking at the World Economic Forum, WEF in Davos, the world's richest man noted that he is frequently asked if there are aliens or any other form of extraterrestrial life, adding that he usually responds that he is wrong. Furthermore, Musk stressed the importance of preserving life and consciousness, which he describes as precarious, delicate, and rare.
Hyundai has
He pointed
incredible
out that
vision about
mankind
how humans and
has
robots
yet
will
to
work
prove
together.
the
We
existence
envision a future
of
where robots do the work that's
extraterrestrial life,
dangerous and that's
which
exhausting,
is why
and humans do the work that's
which
creative
is why the
and
one
changes the
on
world.
Earth
Working
must
with
not be
Hyundai, we
extinguished.
make work different, more efficient, safer, better, faster.
The economy contracts as inflation accelerates 30 minutes until the start of trading. I'm Matt Miller.
I'm Shanali Bassett.
And I'm Katie Greifel.
United
Bloomberg Open
States
Interest
Q3
starts right now.
GDP growth at 4.4%, up from 4.3%. United States gross domestic product GDP grew by 4.4% in the third quarter of
Coming up,
2025,
futures sink as
on
the U.S.
a year
economy
basis,
shrank more than expected in the
according
first
to an
quarter, and
updated
its first
estimate by
contraction
the
since
Bureau of
2022.
Economic
That
Analysis.
weaker eco data
Published on
adding to
Thursday.
market jitters as President
The
Trump
previous
touts
estimate
tariffs
put
and
the figure
slams the
at
Fed chair
4.4%.
again.
And earnings aren't
According to
exactly
the report,
helping with the trade picking up with
the
company
increase
after
was
company
driven
scrapping
by a
guidance.
rise in
Microsoft and
consumer
Meta take the
spending,
spotlight after the
export,
bell tonight. And
government
on that
spending,
note,
and
let's take a look at
investment.
some of our earnings moving right
The
now. We
personal
start with
consumption
Starbucks.
expenditure
Sales continuing to
PCE
fall as economic
price
uncertainty adds
index
pressure
rose
to
by
the company's
2.8%
turnaround plans. Shares currently down
year-on-year
almost 10%
in
in the
the
pre-market.
third quarter.
Caterpillar
While the
also
core
moving and
PCE
expects to
inflation,
face slightly lower sales this year if tariffs stay in place and the economy dips into a
2.9%.
recession in the second
Neither
half.
figure
The
was
shares
changed
go up
from the
2%
previous
in the
estimate.
pre-market.
Encouraging note for a bellwether at what's otherwise been a tough day now. We're looking at Snap as well, down 15.4% pre-market. They say macroeconomic headwinds are affecting its advertising business. Shares down heavily ahead of Meta earnings tonight. Of course, ads matter there too, Katie.
Hold on.
Back to the economic front, the Fed's job getting a bit more complicated by rising
None of
inflation
this is
and a
okay.
shrinking U.S. economy, with
As
GDP
of the 21st,
contracting last
Dow
quarter for
surged
the
in
first time
700
in
points
3
as
years.
Trump signaled
Last night,
greening
President
deal.
Donald Trump renewed
Major
criticism
stock
of
index
Fed Chair
in the
Jerome Powell.
United States expanded
And inflation is
or
basically
extended
down.
gains on
And
Wednesday.
interest
Dow
rates came
Jones
down
Industrial
despite the
Average
fact that I
surging
have
more
a
than
Fed
700
person
points
who's not really doing a
after the
good
United
job.
States
I won't say
President
that.
Donald Trump
I want to be
revealed
very nice.
that he
I
reached
want to be
his
very
framework
nice and
for
respectful to the
future
Fed.
agreement on Greenland with
You're not
NATO
supposed to criticize the
Secretary
Fed.
General
You're supposed to
Mark
let him do his own thing. But I know much more than he does about
He also
interest rates when they
dismissed the
make.
idea of imposing tariffs.
Bloomberg's Michael McKee
Of
joins us for
European
a day of busy
that
economic
opposes
data, and
China's
there's still
agreement.
more inflation to come, Mike. But to me, it looks like the
The Dow
economy is
Jones jumped
contracting and inflation is
1.46%.
accelerating.
Well, that's what you're
Or
seeing in the reaction of
708
Wall Street.
points
We will get numbers at 10 o'clock
2:39
on
p.m.
the
Eastern
March
Time.
spending
At the
numbers
same
and
time,
the March
the Nasdaq
inflation numbers.
100
Those
rose
will be
by
more important to the Fed because
1.51%,
they're the most recent
and
and
the
since the
S&P
tariffs were put
500
on.
advanced
But
by
we do have some bad news in
1.34%.
the overall numbers,
The
certainly
euro
with GDP
lost
contracting. I think it makes the
2.31%
Fed's job a little
against
easier
the dollar
because this
at
report is so
2.39
distorted by
p.m.
tariffs
Eastern Time,
that there's no
changing
point
hands
doing
at
anything. GDP contracting by 0.3. But because of the distortions,
Baja
what
US
you want to look at
500
is
in
real
the
final
green
sales to see where
0.01%.
the country
Baja
really
US
is,
30 in the
consumers
red
really are, and businesses really are, and they were up
0.40%.
2.3%.
US Tech
Not a lot of help from
100
the
in the
consumer
green
side, up only
0.5%,
1.8%.
and the
After
euro
a 4% gain in the fourth quarter,
versus the dollar
consumers
spot
definitely
in the
pulling back.
green
But look at business
0.30%,
investment,
the green
up
range of
9.8%.
1.18%.
If
So
you go drill into that,
these banks are going to be looking for
24%,
24.5%. That's the number right now.
Came from imports. As
Let us
people tried to run ahead of the tariffs being put on. Inventories, we were wondering about that because all these imports hadn't shown up. They have shown up now,
Now
$140
we're going to
million.
finish. This is why it's so important to do this, because the auction in Kissimmee last Saturday, we sold the Ferrari for $38.5 million. It could have went for more. In my collection, I have one that's $62 million. But there's a car that has surfaced that just sold for $75 million. That's $13 million more than my car. So we're finding out who owns the car, what collection is in, and what made that car different, because the one that we sold for $38.5 million was restored.
government
and
workers
that's what
down
hurt
by
the value.
2/10.
Mine is all
That,
original,
I'm sure,
so I want to
reflects
know
the
what
Doge
condition
cuts
that car is in.
Yeah, I want to pull
Because
up
if the
He Can't
value
Go on the
is
terminal.
based
This is
on the
Matt's
wars,
favorite
then my
function, I
car is
think.
still
He showed
more
me this
valuable,
morning. My
and I
eyes
won't trade
popped
out of it.
out
You
of
know
my
what I'm
head.
saying?
That orange bar there
If not,
is that
then I'll
net
probably
export
cash
bar.
out.
It's what you
I'm
were
gonna
talking
check
about
in
there. It's
Dubai,
the imports
and I'll
really taking
probably
a hit out of the
I'll
number.
trade in
But how
that
much of that,
Ferrari
Mike,
is a
is
250 GTO,
people importing to get
and I'll
ahead
pick
of
up.
potential
I have a few
tariff
cars over there right now,
price
but I'll
pressure
see what they have.
issues
I
in
know
the
they have
future?
a
How messy is that
AMG
line?
GT
Well, the line's a little bit
with
messy
no,
because it also includes gold. And a lot of
livery
investors
on
brought
it.
gold into the country in the first quarter because
Nice
they were afraid
color.
the president would tariff it. But
I
it's
have a
not
buyer for
used
that car.
anything, and it's not
Let us
consumed.
continue.
So it doesn't count
Silver
towards GDP.
climbs
So that had to
4%
be subtracted
to
out
new
first
all-time
from those net
high
exports to give you the
of
headline
100.
GDP number, but it's still in
The price of silver
increasing
continued
export,
its historical rally on
decreasing
Friday,
exports that you're talking
rising
about.
to a
And then
fresh
in terms
all-time
of the
high of
overall,
$100.17
exports,
per
it's a
destroyed
lot of
ounce.
imports. It's that
amid heightened
equipment,
geopolitical
business
risk
equipment
and
coming
increased
in, it's
industrial
toys and
demand
games
for
coming
metal.
in. It's a lot of stuff that
Although
people try to
tensions
get
over
ahead of the
Greenland
tariffs.
have apparently
This is
subsided
stuff that has
following the
been
World
The
Economic
big question
Forum
is
in
what's out there for the
Davos,
second quarter.
and
There's a
United
feeling among
States
some
President
economists
Donald
we're going to see
Trump's
a rebound
pledge
because
not to use
people will bring
force
stuff
to
in. But in
annex
this
the
case,
Arctic
all we're
territory.
hearing about is shipping being
Investors
canceled.
seemingly
Yeah,
still
imports surging by an
sought
annualized
safe
41%.
haven
That is the
assets
biggest advance
to
in nearly
offset
5 years. Michael McKee.
potential global
We'll see you, I
risks.
think, at the top of the 10 a.m. hour.
At
That is
10:51
Bloomberg's
a.m.
Michael McKee.
Eastern
Back to
Time,
President Trump's
silver rose
100-day speech last night.
3.77%
And what to expect in the
to
next
sell
100 days. We're joined now by
99.78 per
Tyler
ounce,
Kendall joining
and
us
gold
from
increased
Michigan.
by
and where Trump spoke. Let's
0.79%
talk about
to
the next
exchange
100 days, given that the first 100 are in the rear view right now. I imagine that
$955.98 per
he
ounce.
struck sort of a victory
Platinum
lap for his
surged
home last night, Tyler.
4.16%.
Yeah,
A
he
minute
definitely
later,
was talking to a very
changing
receptive
hands
crowd in Macomb
at
County, Michigan, considered to be an auto hub. He really touted his
739.70
tariffs, where he got a pretty welcome
per
reception,
ounce.
including the biggest
While
applause that I heard
palladium
when he
jumped
just spoke about that 145% levy that's
to go
currently
for
in place against Chinese goods, even if he himself has said that that essentially does amount to a trade embargo. He really tried to make this speech about boosting domestic manufacturing. He did touch quickly on those
palladium
executive orders he signed yesterday,
and platinum
designed to
is
give
making a
automakers
little
some sort of
comeback too.
reprieve when it comes to lessening the impact
Platinum
from
is what?
his tariffs.
Almost $800 more an ounce.
Saying though that
It's not a
that
big
really is
difference.
only
You're
short-lived.
still
He
gonna
did
have
it
to put
to give
silver, you
the
know what I'm
private
saying?
sector a little bit more time before he quote slaughters them if they do not reshore production. We
This
do know
is
that the
good
private
news.
sector, of course, has been sounding
Shout
the
out
alarm
to
about
Japan.
these supply chains are
Japan.
highly complicated, will
Bank
take
of
time
Japan
to move,
leaves
and they've been
interest rate
increasingly wary
untouched.
about making any changes
The
amid
Bank of
so much
Japan,
tariff
BOJ,
uncertainty. I can tell you
decided
that I
on
was on a
Friday
press
to
call
leave
yesterday with some senior
benchmark
Commerce Department officials
interest
who
rate
said that they did make
unchanged at
these moves to lessen the impact
0.75%
from the tariffs for automakers
after
after their discussions with the private sector, that
raising
they
it
wanted to show some
by
flexibility in order
25
to get
basis points in
them to
December.
move their
So
production
it's holding
into
steady.
the U.S. So that's something that we're
As
going to be
widely
watching closely,
expected, the
particularly as
0.50
Bloomberg
would
News
have been
reports
better,
that
in my
today
personal
President Trump is going to be meeting at the
For
White
my
House with some
students,
big private
put that
sector
into your
CEOs as he tries to tout
writing.
future
Let me know
investment
what's your
in the
perspective.
United States. And I
Apply it to
will just
your
end on this, of
investment, your
course.
business,
You were
your
talking
product, your
earlier about
industry,
his
your trade.
ongoing
Your
criticism
investment
of
or whatever
Jerome
you're bringing
Powell.
to the
He
table,
did
your pitch
mention
that your
there that
proposal,
he
your
realizes
business.
that he should not
The central
criticize
bank
the
also
Fed chair,
upgraded
saying, alluding
its
to the
economic
central bank's
growth outlook
independence, but ultimately
forecast
saying
for
that
fiscal
he thinks he
2025
understands interest rates
and
better. I can tell you that
2026
in the room, it
from
really did feel like he was
0.7%
passing
to
on the blame here as he
0.9%
contends with
and
the
1%
economic
respectively.
fallout from consumers and retailers alike.
Yeah, it does seem like
Continuing with silver.
he
Silver
hasn't
rallies
fired
past
Powell because it's
$99,
helpful
up
for
more
him
than
to have
3%.
the Fed chair
Silver surged
there
to a new high
as
above
a scapegoat
$99 per
for
ounce as investors
weakness in
saw
the
safe
economy due
haven
to his
assets
tariffs.
amid
Is that what
global
others are saying as
tensions.
well?
The move came as United States,
Well,
Denmark
that's what it
tensions
felt like in the
rose
room,
over
because he really
Greenland
did try to tie
and
that
Washington,
criticism of Powell to defending his
and
economic
issued
policies amid
warnings
what we have seen
to
a flurry
Iran.
of polling
It also
coming out
came
saying that
amid
American consumers are growing
expectations
increasingly
of
concerned
the
when it comes
first
to the
ever
president's economic agenda,
trilateral
particularly on
talks
tariffs. Now, Matt, he did
between the
dismiss that
United
polling
States,
as being
Russia,
biased
and
and was
Ukraine.
speaking in front of a crowd that was
The
generally
precious metal
receptive
traded
to his tariff
at
policies. We're going to have to wait and
presidency. Of course, President
up
Trump has previously said that he
3.02%.
has no plans to dismiss
At
Powell ahead of his tour being up in May of
9 p.m.
2026, even
Eastern
as
Time,
NEC Director Kevin Hassan
reaching a
had
high
suggested that
of
they were studying the issue.
99.3.
But for now, it really does seem that the
Moments
administration is
later,
trying to
spot
thread the
gold
needle here
added
between saying, hold on, this is all
0.85%
about long-term growth,
to
particularly when it comes to the tariffs, but at the same time, trying to pass that
4,959.03.
blame while also, of course, on the other end, I'll quickly note, trying to push forward that tax
Palladium
agenda. That's how
slipped
President Trump ended his
0.23%
comments last night, saying tariff revenue
to
will be included to include more tax
1,883.06,
cuts be used as an
with
offset
platinum
as
rising
Republicans in Washington today are
0.42%
getting started on
to
working on that reconciliation package.
Tyler,
2,615.68.
we appreciate all of your reporting. That is Bloomberg's Tyler Kendall. Now, it is the biggest week of the earnings season and what has become a historic
Let
April
me
for
just go
markets.
back
We're going
because
to check
I
on
know we
results
did the
as a
last
whole
two
with
were
Bloomberg's
silver,
ads
so I
and
think that is,
today is a big
that's the
day.
last one.
Meta, Microsoft,
So let's
and
always
Apple
go
and
back to the
Amazon
last
as
three,
key calls
okay?
the ends of the May.
Silver
This
reaches
is a way
all
to remember it. How
new
are
all-time high
investors
of
setting up
97. So you see how it went from 100 to 99. Okay, this is at 97, which also set a record. Silver surged to a new record above $97 per ounce, extending a rally fueled by strong demand as geopolitical disputes intensified. The surge followed United States President Donald Trump's threats tied to Greenland, escalating tensions with Denmark and NATO partners. It also came as Washington issued new warnings against Iran, while Trump met with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. And as Russian President Vladimir Putin held talks with United
Yeah,
States
absolutely. Can really shift the
officials.
tone of this market. But so
The
far,
precious metals went
overarching theme seems to be the fact that
497.50
all these companies
as it
pulling
jumped
guidance. Now, take a look at the
1.45%
sell side, which we follow
at
very
8:11
closely.
p.m.
The
Eastern
narrative heading
Time,
into this moment was
while
that we
spot
haven't
gold
seen estimates
added
come down enough. Now that
0.59%
you have the
to
companies
go for
themselves saying, we can't forecast the year
4,945.
ahead. What are we hearing from some of those
an ounce.
analysts that we
A
follow?
minute
Yeah, so it's been
later,
really interesting, Katie.
Palladium
Actually,
fell
sell-side strategists have reduced their
0.66%
S&P 500 targets
to 1,875.09,
since the
with platinum
pandemic. So they were
rising
waiting for company guidance to come in,
0.19%
and they're
to
really not liking what companies are saying. There was some uncertainty, talk of
2,611.31.
volatility, and companies not really being able to quantify the impact of tariffs. And obviously, there is this concern that the
All right, that
economic
closes
data
that
is going
out.
to get worse. Today is just a glimpse
So,
of what's to come. So even though we've had some
Let's
stability
take a break.
after a really
We've
historically
done excellent.
volatile
We'll be
April,
right
there
back.
is this
5 minutes.
expectation that
Everybody
the hard
stretch.
data is going to
Hydrate.
disappoint, and that's going to trigger
All right, Alex, thanks very much. We're
I have my
continuing to
German
watch, obviously,
coffee ready
earnings
when
on
we
this,
come
the
back.
second
We'll be right
busiest
back.
day of the quarter
So
tomorrow.
turn right back in. Let's get a quick prayer.
Meta
Ready?
and Microsoft.
Thank you, Heavenly
centered
Father, for the blessings in our lives. We thank you, Heavenly Father, for the blessings in our lives. We worry not about what we don't have,
Take a look
because
at
we're in the
futures as we
process
head
of
to
getting
break.
it. And in
You
that
will
journey,
see that they are
everything we do
not
is in your name.
positive.
Amen?
Right now, we have a drop
We'll
of
be right back.
1.5% on S&P futures,
Also,
2%
for the students that finish their module, may you have an amazing day today. May you conquer everything in your path. May everything that you touch turn into solid gold bars and solid silver bars, and beautiful and precious gemstones such as moissanite and laboratory-grown diamonds, or any laboratory-grown gem. Always remember to dream big, because dreams
Now,
come
Meta
true.
and
It
Microsoft
happened to
report
me,
after
and I
the
know
market
for a fact it's
closed,
going
and
to
the
happen
bar
to you.
is set high for those
We
magnificent
will
seven stocks.
right
If you take a look at how
back.
they've done this year, in fact,
Like
you
this.
can see that Meta and Microsoft are
Here we
holding up
go,
the best
baby. I got the
among
best teacher in the
all
world.
of the
That's
magnificent
it.
seven. And
This is what we
indeed,
do.
you
Dreams
do
come true.
have
Tune
all
right
of them,
back in.
though, in the red for the year. Joining us now to tell you what to expect